Welcome back to the channel. The day has arrived. Today we're gonna be doing some maintenance, service maintenance on this watch. If you dare to do this, it's gonna be at your own risk. You see what it says here? Authorized service center repair only. So if you do this, it's gonna be at your own risk. So today I'm going to be changing the O-ring, and I'm going to be lubing the buttons. Popped out the manual here. Check it out. So you know this watch is ISO certified, right? But that doesn't mean that it keeps the ISO certification forever. In order to maintain it, you have to follow very careful instructions, right? And let me point to you exactly what I want. Right, you could, if you have one of these watches, you could look for it at page E126. If not, you could do a screenshot right here. But you can see here, after using it in seawater, you have to clean it. That's why it's important to learn how to remove the bezel from the watch and, you know, do all that great stuff. And maintain water resistance. Be sure to have the gasket of your watch replaced regularly, once every 2 years. Once every 2 years. So if your watch is older than 2 years, I don't know if it's still ISO certified. A trained technician will inspect your watch for proper water resistance whenever you have its battery replaced. Battery replacement requires the use of special tools. I'm not going to be replacing the battery. This watch, according to the batch code in the back, it's only about 5.5 years old. The battery is holding strong, and I'm not a diver, not going diving. Battery is holding up strong and high. So batteries are about $25. So I'm not doing that. And your diver's watch has been tested in accordance with international ISO. You see what I mean? So there's a lot of information here. Basically, like don't put your watch like next to a window, and don't take a shower with the watch with soap and all that stuff, because the soap does weakens the O-ring. And there's a lot of information here. So what am I wearing today? Well, only the first Casio to be 200 meters of water resistance, the DW-1000. I have a full video on this watch on the channel. And on the other hand, the first Casio watch to be 300 meters water resistant, the DW-300. More on this on the future. All right, all the tools that I'm going to be using, I'm going to have links if you dare to do something like this. On a previous video, you saw me change the original straps to these nylon Velcro straps. Very comfortable, which is going to make this job very easy, because now all I got to do is remove the quick release here. They have the quick disconnect, right? And I don't have to undo the screws. I don't believe I have to do them. I will be removing the buttons, so I don't think I have to remove the bezel for that. I do have another video where I show you how to remove the bezel. I want to show you something before we continue. You see this little nick here? That's how I got this watch. How did that happen? I don't know. The good thing is I ordered that button. I should receive it in like 4 weeks or so. So I will be opening this watch again. I didn't want to wait 5 weeks to do this video. You know what I mean? Kind of anxious. So you're gonna need a humidity gauge here when dealing with watches like this, because you want to make sure that no humidity gets inside the watch. And this right here is a heat mat. Right now it's turned off. As you can see, my humidity level is pretty good. So if you live in a place where there's a lot of humidity, you definitely need to get one of these. Or what's going to happen is you're going to close the watch, and if you go diving and the water is kind of cold, moisture, and it's going to create like fog inside the watch, and it's not going to look good. So the O-ring has a part number, and this O-ring right here is the O-ring for the sensor. So I think will have to remove the bezel, because I think that comes out through here, but that's not going to be difficult. For now, the first thing I want to do is open up the watch. So let's get the tool for that. All right, I'm back. So I got my opener here, but there is one big problem. You see, this whole thing is one solid chunk of metal, and everything is aligned. So when you work this and you cramp the watch here, everything is centered here, right? What happens? You can remove this. You can switch them out with these if you have a different type of watch. That way you can hold it through here. But this watch is not centered. So it doesn't matter how you put it. You know what I mean? It's not going to be centered. Because if you put it like this, you're pressing on the bezel, and it's not tight. And it's not the perfect way to do it. And if you do it like with one of these, right, that'll hold it here, you can see it's not aligned with the back case either. And if I put it here and I crimp it here, that grabs it very nice, but then this doesn't align because everything is pushed sideways. So I believe that in that Casio service center, they must have some kind of machine where everything is shifted to the side specifically for the Frogman. Or they have some kind of adapters here where, for example, here, the watch would have to like be like somewhere around there. Like this adapters here would be bigger. That way it'll hold the watch centered, which is what I think. Like right there would be like perfect. Let me see. Yeah, see? Somewhere around there, the watch will be perfectly held in place. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use this whole thing as a jig to hold it in place, and I'm gonna remove this and I'm gonna unlock it manually. So this thing has this thing here. You pull it out. Now you have a little bit more space. You're probably going to be tempted to get one of these cheap ones from eBay or Amazon, and don't do it. The watch doesn't fit here. It's not wide enough to accommodate for the button, so don't do it. So I'm going to be using this manual one. You could try the 3-prong ones too. I've used this in the past before, but the trick here is this whole jig here, since it's holding the watch pretty strong here. It'd be better if this was screwed down to the table, but nobody got time for that. So let's see if we could do this. Let me put up my double goggles so I can see. Hopefully we don't scratch it. Okay, it's in. I gotta hold it in place. There you go, I got it. I'll do a little bit more. That's it. Beautiful. I could do the rest with the little ball. Let me move this out of the way. All right, let's get this thing out of here so I can have more space. All right. Is this the first time on YouTube that all of us are gonna get to see the inside of a GWF-D1000? What do you think? So the O-ring stuck to the back case. It's a big chunky O-ring right here. Nope. It actually looks flat. This thing got some weight to it. Yeah. I mean, it's not bad, being that this watch is only 5 years old, but definitely going on the flat side. Let me put that to the side. All right, let's go in. So we have a hard plastic spacer here with the magnetizer shield here. Now we have the rubber gasket. Kind of thin. And that's it right there. Three, four, 5. Now we're gonna have to remove that module, and in order to do that, we have to lift the sensor plug there. I got myself a very small flat tip. Got it. very thin tweezers here. I'm gonna start to get it loose. There. It's out. So we got buttons everywhere. Let's see if this module comes up with that plastic ring. And I think it does. It's a big boy. Got it. Came up with the solar panel. Beautiful. Look at that. That is awesome. Came up as one piece. That'll help me keep the dust out of there. Let me cover this up. Put that to the side. And now we can proceed with removing the buttons. Uh-oh. Is that a screw? You see that thing is nice and lubed. Nice and lubed. Are you drooling like me? All right, let's get the tool to remove the buttons. All right, let's see if I can do this side first. No, those C-clips are short. I can't grab it. So, plan B. Plan B is use a spring bar tool. Nope, doesn't have the space. Plan C. So when everything else fails, I bring in my X-Acto knife because it's nice and thin, and I can usually poke somewhere around here and start lifting that C-clip. There. Nice and simple, right? Let's remove the first button. That O-ring looks weird. Right? Yeah. It's almost like it's broken. And it's white. Never seen an O-ring like this white. So this is why you have to take your watch in for service to get it checked. So I'm gonna have to replace that O-ring. Right, I don't want to record over the camera, so I'm gonna do the rest and I'll be back. All right, back. So all the buttons on the left side, all of them have that white O-ring damage. All of them. All of them have the O-ring damage. This is one of the things that happens when you buy a used watch. And I think that this happened because somebody tried removing the bezel and they didn't know how to do it. And they might have bent the buttons, and that's how that happens. You bend the button and that probably pinched the O-ring, and as you push the button it'll break the O-ring. So right now it was only holding on the water resistance with that inner one. So I already have one button coming, the one that was damaged, this one, and this one has the damage too, and I can see that the stem here is a little bit crooked. So luckily I got that one coming. The other one, this one is good. You can see this one is perfect. But I'm going to change the O-rings on all of them. And of course, I got that button coming. Now I have to remove the bezel. Only to get to that sensor. Okay, so now remember last time when I changed the straps, I lubed the pipes. That way they're easy to remove. Now to remove the bezel, since we don't have buttons, it's nice and simple. This cover comes off. And now I need the screwdriver. See how this goes. That's the other O-ring right there. Is that the O-ring or is that the sensor? That's the O-ring. Right. So now I'm thinking about it. I might as well order all the buttons. Since I already ordered one new one, right? I'm not going to be able to sleep. Although I don't never sleep. So, all right, let's get the watch ready so we can start building it back up. All right, let's put this together. Look, I took out all the white O-rings. They are very, very soft, kind of squishy. Buttons have brand new O-rings already lubed. So the first thing we got to put in is the sensor. Let me see if I can grab it. Right, so here's the new sensor O-ring. That's the part number. All right, the new O-ring, you can see the ridges. The ridges go facing down. All right, now we install this like this. Oops. Going a little bit at a time. Now I bring in the little cover. It had the, I believe it had the two little dot holes facing the bottom. All right, the bezel. Nice. And now all I gotta do is install the buttons. So, right, I'm gonna start with the one that has the nick because I know that that one goes to the compass. That one goes right here. The other one, they're different. They look the same, but they are different. Now these two, the wrong ones, are the same. You see the hole is at the bottom, so you gotta place them the correct way, or they're not gonna clear the bezel. All right, let me install the C-clips and I'll be back. All right, C-clips are in. All the buttons are nice and smooth. I also installed the lug adapters because I need them for the water test. I have the new O-ring right here. For this, I'm going to be using this silicone oil. And get it nice and lubed. Got the heating mat connected. Got the humidity going down to 26. So I will be doing a couple of different water tests here. I'm going to be doing my basic one. The one that I do to all my G-Shocks whenever I change the battery. Alright, so the way I do this is I take a look at that O-ring, and I don't press hard immediately. I go slowly and I let that O-ring get compressed. It's nice and lubed, so it should not, kink. Because that's the problem. When you don't lube them real good, it'll get caught in one side, so when you turn it, it'll kink and it'll come out the other way. All right, let me get the other big one, the case opener, to make it tight and make sure it's nice and tight. All right, the watch is in. It's good. Put my hand here. Yeah. That's about 3 ugas. Double check the O-ring again. Didn't get kink. All right, let's get some water. All right, nice simple test. Distill water, because I know water is going to get behind the bezel. I'm not going to remove it again. Tap water, it has Clorox and all kind of stuff, and that's going to create some sediments behind, and distilled water doesn't do that. First thing we want to see is if we see any bubbles. Why am I doing this simple test? Because I changed the O-rings on the buttons, so I want to make sure that they don't fail. So this watch is, you see the bubbles? I'm hoping that's just the bubbles, the air that was caught behind the buttons. If water gets inside, yeah, we'll start seeing moisture in that back cover. Okay. Looks pretty dry to me. That speaker will start getting like humidity, and you would see it. So the next step is with the pressure tester. Let me get that out. All right, so I don't know if this watch is gonna fit in here because it's stupid big. This is why I needed this. Let me see if it doesn't touch the water. Just a little bit, that's good. Okay, so now I close this. Make sure it's tight. And I close the little valve. All right, look at the gauge. Oh, it went down. It's too heavy. Once the pressure starts going up, it should help the watch stay up. All right, I've read that you only have to do this test at 3 bar, but I'm gonna keep going. All right, I'm gonna leave it at 5. There. All right, so you're supposed to leave it there for, I don't know, some people say 1 minute, and other people say 3 minutes. So what we're doing here is, if the O-rings are failing right now, air is getting inside the watch through the O-rings, being the back cover or the buttons, right? And why do we want that? So when I drop the watch in the water and I release the air, if we see bubbles, that means water is trying to get inside the watch, but the air inside the watch is preventing it. Now, there might be air caught behind the bezel, but I needed the bezel on so I could hold it. You know what I mean? So the best way to do this is to turn it around. That way we can see the back cover. It's kind of tight. See, now it doesn't want to go down. All right, we'll bring it down. And now it has a lever up here, and I'm going to start releasing it slowly. All right, I see some bubbles. From the buttons. Now we double check. Let me get it out of there. All right, so I'm looking inside with the flashlight here, and I don't see no water in here. Nothing. So the next thing I'm going to do is to be double sure is I'm going to apply pressure with the watch being submerged in the water. Because if I'm going to get water in, might as well do it now while the module is not inside, right? Let's get it in there. Bring you down here, because if we start getting water, you should see it. Oh, I gotta close the valve. All right. Went up. Guess I gotta hold it. How should I put this? Let me bring this light down here. That way we could all see. This thing has like a lock. There you go. There. It does have a screw to lock it in place. I believe those bubbles that we saw before were air caught between the buttons and the bezel. Because if it would have been leaking, we would have had water inside that case by now. Let's keep going. Alright, now we just went a little bit past 6 bars, and it's holding strong. So the service was a success. And the gauge is not moving. So everything is nice. Alright, let's start releasing the air pressure here. All right, let's get that watch out of there. Dry as the Sahara. Beautiful. So the service was a success. All right, so now I gotta open it up again and insert the module. All right, about to open the watch again. Before I open it, since I know there's probably water behind the bezel, this little air gun is a nice lifesaver here. Wanted to record this that way you can see there's no funny business going on. My eyesight is really bad. Can't see nothing. All right. That's good. Let me plug the heat mat again. I had unplugged it when I was doing the water test. Beautiful. All right. I don't know if I touch that. Oh, look at the O-ring. Gotta make sure it's clean before I put the module in. I see a fingerprint. I don't know if that's in the inside. I might have touched it when I was putting in the C-clip. Yeah, I think that's in the inside. Yep. Got the module. You know what? I'm not gonna worry about the plug right now. I'm just gonna worry about aligning whoa. Slipped. Alright, so I think I could slide it down, so I gotta push this. Let me double check again. Alright, yeah, it's clean. Alright, let me put it over here so you guys can see. Need to move this out of the way. And then I get to slide in the module. this. Keep an eye on that humidity. This is the important part. It's not sitting in all the way yet. Right here. There. It was getting caught in the middle button. Now this side. Boom. Now it went in all the way. Now I get to plug in this thing. I know what you're thinking. I needed to do this first, slide it in, but it didn't work. That's not it. That's not it. There's no instructions on how to do this, so this is what happens when you're the first. There. I think I'm good right there. Nope. Gotta go down one more floor. Mm-hmm. It's in. Now, let's install this. And before I close it, I want to install the dive mode. Activate it. Just in case it's not plugged in correctly. If it's not plugged in correctly, I should get an error message. Nope. Everything's working fine. Let's get out of there. Check the compass. Compass is working. Get out of there. screen test. Let's get this light out of here. Light is working. Solar panel working. The tilt working. So everything's good. Everything's good. Humidity at 21. Beautiful. Brand new O-ring. By the way, I do have 2 extra one because I bought extra just in case I messed up one. And I also have one for the GWF-1000. I was thinking about buying one of those, but I mean, would you buy one of those if you had one of these? Serious question. I mean, I want to buy one, but it has to be at the right price. I don't care if it's old, if the bezel is messed up. If it's messed up, even better. Because then, you know, I'll buy new parts and fix it up. But gotta be at the right price. All right, get it back in here, get it tightened up. Now, you know, I'm working with this, but I'm still thinking about this. Just trying to think, what kind of jig do they have over there to open up these cases? All right, that's 1 ooga ooga, 2, 3. 3 ooga oogas. That's what I did before. All right, let me get that nylon strap back on. All right, so that took a few hours, but mostly because I'm recording. But got it done without getting anything damaged. Everything is nice. Got new buttons coming in, just so I could have peace of mind. Make sure you check out the video, previous video about this strap. This thing is super comfortable. Damn. I also got a spare original, same one. Like I said, sometimes when you find the parts, you buy them, because you never know. See, I don't know if I bang this one against the door or something. Not really worry about it, because I got a brand new bezel right here, and the original straps are stored away right here, nice and safe. And I got a brand new bezel coming too. I ordered the bezel from the Alaska model. I don't know if that's the last one that came out. So I'll leave links to everything I used. Let me know if you're thinking about doing this service, changing the O-rings. That's going to be it. Thank you for watching. Keep your humidity level down. Peace out.